When it comes to computers, most of us know a few things, like how to turn it on, but there's still a lot that's mysterious, okay? Thor Schrock returns from Schrock Innovations, and he's got the answers to many of the questions that the rest of us have, and sometimes we're just too insecure to even ask because we don't want to look like idiots on this stuff. Thor, it's good to see you.
Well, I'm glad you've got the basics down, Mary. That's where it all starts.
Right, just give it a good kick if it doesn't work.
Mr. Schrock, my computer won't turn on. Does your house have power? Oh, wow, I didn't think of that.
Right.
No, it doesn't. Okay, never mind.
I'm not too far from that, Thor. But I know that's one of the things that you address. I mean, here on the Morning Blend, we'll talk about all kinds of things, but on the radio side, what sorts of issues do you see most?
All right, so it's completely different. So here we have like 4 to 6 minutes, and we pretty much have to get right to the point and have fun. But if you listen to the radio show this weekend, you know, I come on here and I preach to everybody about you need to get preventative maintenance on your computers, and I preventatively maintain my own computer, obviously. This summer, my truck started rumbling. Like the air conditioning motor had a bad bearing, and I'm like, we see bad fans all the time in computers, not a big deal. I'll take it in when I can. I have a 120,000 mile warranty. I had about 68,000 miles, no big deal. So here I am now in the, almost the spring of the following year, and it's so bad that my family can hear me coming from 2 blocks away inside the house. And I finally, I never have time, so I finally take it in. The bearings in the air conditioning compressor disintegrated, sending metal shards through my entire climate control system.
So it's those shards of metal rattling around making all the noise?
I have to replace the compressor, the hoses, the evaporator, the whole climate control system is getting replaced.
Had you fixed it back in the day?
Oh, but guess what else? It gets better. My warranty wasn't 120,000 miles. It was 100,000 powertrain and 70,000 bumper to bumper.
No, so the problem shows up 2,000 miles prior to the
If I would have taken it in the summer, it would have been free.
Thor.
Instead, it's $2,300.
Oh, good. So the lesson to the rest of us is when we
Maintain
start
your
to
stuff.
see stuff go wrong on our computers.
So, we tell those stories on the radio show, and those bad things come in threes. I call customers to tell them about their computers, and they're like, oh, it's been a bad week. My dog died, my wife left me, now my computer's broken. It always comes in threes, right? My water softener, error 1, call service technician. And I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I'll just power cycle it or whatever. I'm taking it apart and doing things. I'm like, it's not, no, I got to call the stupid service tech. I am a service tech. All right, call the service tech. So this thing comes in threes. I sit down at the shop on Thursday, open up my laptop to get something done. Error, your start menu isn't working right. We'll try to fix it next time you log in. I say, hey guys, what are the odds it's going to fix it next time I log in? And they just laughed. Like, you need to repair, install a Windows 10. Half my day gone. So it comes in threes. So I get hit with the same stuff you guys do.
The same stuff that our viewers, your listeners.
And we don't always have time to go into those funny stories here on the TV segment, but on the radio show I have a whole hour. And so
when are you on in Omaha? Where and when do we find you?
Well, you can usually find me on KFAB Sunday mornings at 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. And I know it's a little early, and we have a lot of people who are getting ready for church and stuff, and they listen on the way to church, or they catch the first half of the show but not the second half, or vice versa. One time I had a caller who called in, and he's asking me his computer question. Because, we'll actually fix your computer on the air. We'll tell you exactly what to do to fix it, like click by click. And so I hear this sloshing sound. And I was like, are you in the bathtub right now? And he says, yes, I am. And I'm just like, I've never been called by a naked man in the bathtub.
That's
but
hilarious.
Okay, I'm thinking like Wild West. He's in like the steel tub, with his gun belt off to the side. I'm gonna call him.
That's multitasking, right?
He's got the back
time
brush.
To call later. So what kinds of I don't know what he was asking that day, but what kinds of questions, if our viewers have maybe listened before, they didn't even know you have a radio show, what kinds of things do you take on? Well,
a lot of the questions over a period of a year or so, they get to be a little repetitive, and they're asked in different ways by different people in slightly different circumstances. But for the most part, we get questions about, why is my computer so slow? My computer won't turn on, or hey, I have this program on my computer and my computer won't work right. Couple examples. This week on the radio show, we had a guy that called in who said that, hey, my computer, when I turn it on, it's powering up, the lights come on, the fans come on, and it just turns off. It turns on. So Mary comes along and pushes the power button, and then the computer says, and it just turns
right
off.
Back to sleep. Okay.
No, it turns off. Just.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, sleep is different.
Sleep is different than off.
Sleep is different than off.
Okay.
You know, off is dead, sleep is sleep.
Okay.
It's the same thing for people.
So what was the problem? How did he?
He has a bad power supply.
Oh, okay.
And so we were able to diagnose that on the radio and let him know, hey, you need a power supply. And guess what? If you have you ever been into the shop before? And it's a great question to ask on the show, because if they say yes, then I say, well, then you know where we're located. And if they say no, then I say we have a free hour of labor coupon for new customers. Come on in. An hour is plenty of time for us to replace the power supply. Let's get it done. So we help people in that regard. You know, on the show before, I've done a live Schrock desk where the customer calls in with a problem, and you know, I'm trying to walk them through it, but they're just not. We're not communicating well, and so you know, I'm trying to ask them to click things, and they can't find what I want them to click on, and so I was like, forget this. Go to schrockdesk.com, type in this code, boom, let's do a Schrock desk.
And that allows you.
And I can see the screen, and I'm like, I'm clicking here, I'm clicking there, I'm clicking here, I'm clicking there, and boom, how does it work now? And they're like, that's amazing, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, we do that for customers all the time. You don't even have to bring your computer in sometimes. You know, we can just fix it right over the internet.
A lot of services available through Schrock Innovations, and that's one of the we love to have Thor here, because it's like the general information stuff, yes, the specific stuff, of course he can help us there, but I'm thinking about people who they're listening on the weekend, but then maybe in like right now. I mean, you're not on the air on the radio, but they've still got a question and they don't want to forget about getting it to you.
Yep.
Is there a place either on Facebook or an email address or some way to get questions in between your shows on the air?
Absolutely. You know, there's a few different ways. Number one, there's always the radio show Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. on 1110 KFAB. If you missed the radio show or a part of the show, or I'm just getting to a story and you had to go into church so you didn't get to hear it, we have the podcasts available at SchrockInnovations.com. They're also available on iTunes. You can search for Schrock Innovations or Compute This, and you can have them instantly delivered. Now, if you need help in the middle of the week, you can hit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. No, and this is a secret. This is just between you and me, Mary.
Okay.
When people post to Facebook, I answer the questions directly.
You're the guy?
I'm the one. And I'm always like, we and us. And it's just
but
me.
It's you.
It's just me.
Hey, we also just saw your email address on the screen.
Yep, you can always email me directly, Thor, Thor, at SchrockInnovations.com. But you have to spell Schrock right, or I won't get it. It's SCHROCK. So I get that, those angry people, ones, I've been emailing you for 2 months.
They left the C out.
Like, well, how are you spelling my name? Oh, well, you got to spell it right.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have said that.
So Thor at SchrockInnovations.com. If you would like to learn more about all the services that they offer, it's SchrockInnovations.com. Whether your computer's acting up or you just want to take better care of the technology you've invested in so that you're not looking down the line and it's costing you $2,300 to get it fixed.
Answered a Facebook question this morning from a user who asked me, I want to back up my hard drive. I have a 1 terabyte hard drive in my computer. Can I get a 1 terabyte external, or should I get a bigger one? The answer is 1 terabyte external will do it for one backup. But if you want to keep multiple backups, you need a 2 terabyte.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of questions you can just get
That's
answered real
easy.
quick on Facebook.
That's great, Thor. Thank you for coming in, and we'll
Thank
be
you.
listening this weekend.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, maybe you've